to end this.
What's happening, baby?
That's some Oscar shit right there.
Great!
Song's over, baby.
Hey guys, it's Jack Knives again here, gonna be going over Baby Driver. Baby Driver is about an amazing young getaway driver who constantly has to listen to music to drown out the non-stop ringing in his ears. He works for a kingpin named Dox, who he owes a large debt to, and has to be his getaway driver for years because of it. He meets a young waitress named Deborah, they hit it off, but when he decides to leave the life of crime, some of his accomplices have other plans for him. Edgar Wright, similar to Tarantino, has almost his entire movies centered around music. This movie, Scott Pilgrim, are perfect examples of how he seems to blend music, not just in the background, but in the foreground of the movie and the story narrative. The soundtrack isn't just awesome. It's very, very centered around more obscure music, more 60s, a little 70s here and there, but also some remixes that I've never really heard personally. There's one scene where it's shot in one consistent scene where Baby is walking from the building all around this block into a coffee shop, back into the building he went in a circular way. But the way it's shot is just like a music video. Not just the sound and the editing, they use the sound effects from the outside the street. Some of the people in the background are saying the things that are in the song. You can see words written in the background while he's walking of the lyrics of the song. It's shot exactly like a music video, but in like the best kind of music videos. Which it just shows the masterful way you can use film to play with fun and music and things that you enjoy with it. You all probably know who Edgar Wright is. He made Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the Cornetto trilogy. His style is kind of a combination of hipster nerd style, just overall fun vibe, but it's not done in an overly aggressive way that would alienate a lot of people from his works. He tries to approach it more like someone who's trying to entertain you with a story without trying to overwhelm you with nerd facts. But he always seems to focus on the outcast. Kind of similar to old style Tim Burton. I don't know if anyone else has ever caught on to that, but his characters always seem to be the outcast or the people you just kind of scoff at, or you just like, who cares about that guy? Is always seemed to be centered around his movies. Ansel Elgort plays Baby. You might know him from A Fault in Our Stars as well as the Divergent series. Baby's a very quiet, timid, not really soft-spoken, but not really a talkative person at all. It's kind of played off like a mute, but not quite a mute. It's hard to really explain how he is, but he's more centered around just focusing on his music and conversations with others than he is actually talking. Which is interesting because I don't really see that many main characters in movies that do that anymore. Lily James plays Deborah. You might know her from Disney's Cinderella live action. She played Cinderella. The character is shy as well, like him, but not shy as in unapproachable. She's very talkative, very friendly, very outspoken. Both of them kind of share a similar tragic past, but unlike Baby, Debs isn't really gone into extreme detail as to what exactly is going on. Kevin Spacey plays Doc, which, if you don't know who the hell Kevin Spacey is, how? To name off a few, he was in The Usual Suspects, he was in Seven, he's in House of Cards. He's just awesome. He's one of the most versatile actors in the world. Dox is an intelligent man who doesn't really like to get his hands dirty, so he's a kingpin, but an intellectual kingpin. Jamie Foxx plays Bats from Django Unchained and Ray. Bats is really hot-headed. He's really gun crazy. He's kind of one of those almost prototypical gangsters. Like, he just shoots first, asks questions, never kind of hardcore G's, you know? And I'm like, I've seen that character done so often, but Jamie Foxx keeps it not completely bland, but it's kind of like you're only got what you're given. John Hamm you might know from Mad Men, Bridesmaids, plays Buddy, a good-looking robber who is devoted to Darling, played by Isa Gonzalez. She plays Satanico Pandemonia in From Dusk Till Dawn TV series. She's also going to be in Alita Battle Angel. She plays Darling, the sexy lover of Buddy, who loves the thrill of stealing and is really over-sexualized. But John Hamm, legitimately, for me, stole the show. Like, he really, really had a complex character. He went just from being some thug, some bank robber who was into this girl, to a threatening character, and he portrayed the balance of it really flowing naturally. And it's kind of cool to see John Hamm do that, because primarily John Hamm is more focused in on playing comedic roles, because that's his baseline of acting, is originally in comedy. He doesn't really get to do that much serious work besides Mad Men, but he really outshined in this one. Like, he did a great job in this movie. There's also a few other actors, a few I wanted to highlight real quick. John Berthel, he plays Punisher in Daredevil. Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers, Back to the Future, and way too many other movies to count. And the last person I'm going to mention is Sky Ferreira. She plays Baby's mom in the flashback scenes. She was actually a pretty good singer. Like, I never heard of her before this movie, and I looked her up, and I heard some of her music, and yeah, she's a good singer. So, pretty spot on casting, I'm not gonna lie. Although, if I'm gonna give one thing that was really jarring to me, is that I felt that some of the scenes could have been cut. It really did feel like it dragged on quite a lot, which you can tell when an action movie drags. Unlike with a drama or a comedy, you can kind of pad out some scenes for comedy, a dramatic effect. But when it's an action scene, your mind's kind of like already supposed to be on momentum anyway. So when you see an action scene that just drags and drags and drags, or almost repeats itself, it really becomes noticeable. There was one scene in the movie where they go from one scene where it's trying to establish that Bats is crazy. So it does one scene where he goes into a building and goes nuts, everything goes awry, then cuts to another scene where they go into a gas station and then he goes nuts and everything goes awry. Then it goes to this other scene, and you see where I'm coming from. It's literally back to back to back, these scenes, and I'm just sitting there thinking, why is this repeating itself? What's the point of repeating something? We get it, he's crazy, that's the point. But it just dragged. And the sad thing is, I love Edgar Wright's movies. I think all of his movies are, at least in some way, really enjoyable and really watchable. But it's kind of weird to see him do such kind of mediocre things that I know he can do better. I kind of feel like a teacher who's like punishing a kid for just kind of being lazy on a test, and I don't mean to. I'm sorry, it just really hit the movie for me hard. And I was really looking forward to this movie because I love Edgar Wright's work. Ever since they announced he was going to be making another movie, I was like, boom, I'm on board. I gotta go see it. And then I even got the promotional poster at a convention, and I got promotional sunglasses for it, which was really cool. So once I saw the trailer, gotta go see it. And I was lucky enough to get to go see it in a limited screening for free because of a friend of mine who's well, let's just say I have good connections. It really hurt the movie for me, and it kind of damaged the way I saw the movie because there were a lot of parts I felt dragged. And for an Edgar Wright movie, a movie, despite its length, shouldn't feel like it's dragging. Hot Fuzz was a pretty damn long movie, but I never once thought, oh, this is really dragging. No, I enjoyed it. It was all good. It was all fun. Same thing with Shaun of the Dead. Same thing with Scott Pilgrim. There were parts where I'm just like, this is a good movie. I wasn't like, oh, cut this, get this out. But this one was, and it was kind of a disappointment to see that. But I guess every actor or director or whatever has one project that kind of falls to the wayside, I guess. And it wasn't a bad movie. Don't think me criticizing right now is saying it's a bad movie, because it's not. It's a good movie. I really recommend everyone checking it out. But that being said, this does affect my overall score on the movie. So for that reason, I have to give Baby Driver a 7.5 out of 10.
Groovy.
If there's anything you guys want me to check out, recent or past, leave a comment below or follow me on Twitter and leave a message for me there. I'm going to be putting a poll up regarding my amazing Las Vegas Comic-Con footage, and I'd like to see if you guys could leave some comments down there about your opinions on certain characters or whatever. So I'm going to be putting up several polls, leave a comment, and it might just feature in the video. As always, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.